commercial diving is a really interesting job. Like, I went to school for commercial diving for a year in Long Beach, California, and the school shut down. There's a lot of schools that are really expensive. Like, the school I went to was $20,000 or something like that, or $18,000. But and the school didn't really like seem to cover a lot of what to expect if you're gonna work out like in the Gulf of Mexico. I worked in the port of Los Angeles, and if you work around any ports or where there's any boats, there's always a job you can do that all you got to do is get scuba certified, or do it, without it. But it's using a hookah, it's called, with a regulator, and you just hook it to a compressor or a scuba tank, and you can go down and clean people's boats, the hull of their boats, sailboats, motor boats, power boat, any kind of boats you can clean, especially when there's a lot of growth on them in the wintertime. But it's kind of a form of commercial diving, although the definition or what commercial diving actually is might be a little different than using a regulator. But you're getting paid, so I think it kind of is. Well, commercial diving is like when you wear a hat and like Kirby Morgan or something, and you have a bailout and you have an umbilical hook to you, and I wasn't totally happy with the school. If you're interested in it, there's a lot of really cheaper schools, and you really need your ADC card and like another type of your TWIC card, and there's a school in Louisiana that is a couple thousand to maybe 10,000 compared to paying 20,000. I think it's even like 3,000 here. And there's schools around the country, but I don't know anybody that's completely happy with the schools they went to. Even up in Seattle, a lot of different schools. So I suggest, if you're interested in commercial diving, come down to Louisiana, and you can always, before you do commercial diving, be an AB on a boat, or get some certification to be, to learn how to be a captain or be a rigger on a barge. Things like that is easier. It's you could save a lot of money just to see if you're interested in the environment of living out on a boat for months at a time, or weeks. For me, usually it was weeks. I worked for about a year and a half in the Gulf of Mexico, but I worked in the port of Los Angeles for a year, for like 2 years, and around there I had to be in the union, which is kind of interesting too, and it can pay better. But then there's classes you got to go to, and I think it's good to work for a medium-sized company. I worked for one of the biggest companies here doing saturation diving and commercial surface diving, and I'd watch videos on the internet. You'll be a tender for a couple years to 5 years, and you work on the boat and you send stuff up and down to the divers, and you just stand on the metal boat all day, 12 hours a day, and it's pretty physical at times. Half of the time you just can't work fast enough. It's like you're just going as fast as you can, and there's a lot to learn. There's a lot of little things. You got to learn how to run a chamber. You're constantly doing stuff, calling scope for the anchors that the captain drops. But it's a really interesting career, and it's really interesting it's really great to be in a 3D environment and be able to turn upside down and work on something upside down, or in it's all about like your body placement and how you move and underwater, and you get more comfortable as you go along, and you go down to hundreds of feet doing surface stuff, or you even go down to like 800 feet. So it's some pretty interesting depths and some interesting physics and stuff that goes along with it all. It's one of the coolest things I ever got a chance to check out, because you get to be around fish, you get to do anything. I might make more commercial dive videos and explain it, but this is just a real quick one. I just wanted to, if anybody's interested, get right to me or anything, ask me a question. I'll tell you my point of view on what's going on with commercial diving now. Right now it's even kind of slow in the Gulf. I just got laid off because it's so slow, but it usually is slow from I've heard, unless there's a hurricane, around like December to April, maybe November to April. It's kind of the slow season. and then it is seasonal, I guess you could say, because of the waves are big and it kind of pushes the ladder around and the divers can't get up on the ladder. There's a lot of different things, slip anchors, but anyway, give me write to me, whatever. Good luck to you in commercial diving and anything. Let's talk to you later. Bye.